Part 20. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 191. This is Konoha. Yahiko Nagato and the members of the Akatsuki organization stood at the door of Konoha's gate, looking a little distracted. There was a buzz of people, and there was a constant flow of people at the entrance of Konoha village. They were squeezed into the crowd and looked insignificant. Just when they arrived and were confused, a Konoha shinobi wearing a forehead protector came to Yahiko Nagato. You are the envoy sent by the Kingdom of Rain. Our assistant Hokage sent me to greet you. Please follow me into Konoha. Oh, okay, Yahiko and Nagato nodded numbly. After entering Konoha, they discovered that compared with the scenery in the village, the scenery at the entrance of the village was simply insignificant. They have never seen so many people, let alone such a prosperous scene. On the streets, there are ninjas from Tsunagakuer, ninjas from Cloud Shinobi Village, and ninjas from Iwagakuer. They can even see the costumes of the people from the Land of Snow. This is not Konoha. It is clearly the center of the ninja continent. It's incredible, is this Konoha? It deserves to be the strongest ninja village. The members of the Xiao organization felt as if Grandmalu had entered the Grand View Garden. After hearing this, Konoha Shinobi, who led the team for them, had obvious pride in his eyes. Although I am very happy that you are praising Konoha for being so good, there is one thing I want to correct you. It is not that Konoha is so good in the first place. All of this is the credit of our assistant Hokage. To tell you the truth, 6 months ago, Konoha was even more withered and lifeless than you imagined. The ninjas of Konoha have experienced that depressing atmosphere, so they cherish the beauty of the present even more. However, everything has changed since Assistant Hokage came to power. The war was devastating, with 1 against 4, defeating the remaining 4 big countries, reforming the economy and culture internally, and overturning the previous unjust, false, and wrong cases. Heitake Sakumo is heroes, the Senju clan is the hero, the Uchiha clan is the backbone, also cleansing the leaf borers, Mito Kato Homura, Yudatan Koharu. Now, we are vigorously developing something called science. It's really incredible. Did you know that a thing called a camera can record images, and a thing called a mobile phone can communicate over long distances? The mission of our ninjas is no longer just assassination, obtaining intelligence, as long as farming, sowing, mining, construction and other livelihoods can also get a lot of rewards, and these tasks are also included in the ninja promotion system. You don't know how good our current Konoha guy named Uchiha Obito is at wood style. He's really enviable. Yahiko and others were fascinated by what they heard. They didn't expect that the world of ninjas could be like this. However, there is one thing they can't understand. We know that wood style is the power of the first Hokage. Isn't it normal for wood style to be powerful and enviable? Konoha Shinobi immediately retorted, what do you know? Who said wood style can only be used to kill enemies? You don't know how fast you can build a house with wood style, and the wood summoned by wood style is stronger than steel. It is also extremely fire resistant. The house built in this way has the advantages of wood and the strength of steel. If you want to schedule a building appointment with the Uchiha Super Infrastructure Construction Team, you have to wait for at least half a year. Uchiha Obito, he is almost becoming the richest man in Konoha now. The builders are really making money. The key is that I am convinced by the money they make. Hey, if only Uchiha Obito could build me a house sooner. Listening to the emotion of the ninja in front of him, Yahiko Nagato's brain suddenly shut down. They had no idea, ninjutsu can be used in this way. Wood style actually has such miraculous effects in this aspect? But aren't ninjas here to defend their homeland? Isn't it a bit overkill to waste your strength on construction? Konoha Shinobi was not happy when he heard this. Hey, what do you mean by this? Our assistant Hokage said that ninjas are not for fighting and killing, but for building a better home. Ninjutsu is used to kill the enemy itself. That's wrong, you say, don't we live for a better life? Ninjutsu can make our lives better, why don't we use it? When Konoha Shinobi said this, he paused and said, besides, with Assistant Hokage here, who dares to attack our Konoha, Konoha Shinobi speaks with pride. This concept had a huge impact on Yahiko/Nagato, and it seemed that his worldview had undergone earth-shaking changes. However, they were all young people and quickly accepted the idea. According to Konoha Shinobi, it seems that this can indeed build a better home, and Ninjutsu 0.5 seems to be better if used this way. Nagato thought and murmured in a low voice, I know the rain tiger technique. It can make it rain at the same time in an area larger than Konoha, and it can last for a long time. If it is used to irrigate people's livelihood, wouldn't it be invincible? Originally, Nagato was just muttering unintentionally, but when it fell into the ears of Konoha Shinobi, it was completely different. He immediately turned around and looked at Nagato seriously. Messenger, is what you just said true? The third update is over. Tomorrow the number of flowers will exceed 200 and reach 58,816. The main update will continue. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 192. Nagato was shocked. I don't know why Konoha Shinobi was so excited, but he nodded anyway. Well, this is the unique ability of my pupil technique. With my chakra, I can make it rain over a large area. If it rains lightly, it will last for a day. If it rains moderately, it will last for at least half a day. This jutsu has no attack. Nagato can at most mix some chakra into it as a detection ninjutsu. He is usually used to defend the Akatsuki organization base. Once there is an outsider, he can know it instantly. Unexpectedly, Konoha Shinobi was overjoyed after hearing this. Great, messenger, you will have great wealth. Did you know that the land of fire is currently plowing in the spring, but what is rare is that the light rain that should have come in previous years has never come, and now the watering tasks in Konoha cannot be completed at all. Look at the ninjas in the Kiri-07 ninja village on the street. They are all here to do these tasks. Unfortunately, compared to the entire fire country, the number of these ninjas is too small, and water style is simply not enough. Nagato disagreed after hearing this, so what about this task? How much money can I get from precipitation? It's not like ninjas didn't know before that they could bring water to the villagers, but this kind of task didn't make any money at all. Except for the trainee ninjas, no one paid any attention to him. A capable ninja can easily make a bigger profit by killing someone. Everyone has reached the Jonin level of cultivation and has gone through untold hardships, life and death, and watering farmland. Isn't that stupid? However, ninjas with low strength have no abilities. Konoha Shinobi laughed, if you are a villager, you will definitely not be able to pay what you want. They only earn a little money from farming, and you don't even bother to look at it. But, having said that, we have to mention our great Assistant Hokage again. Assistant Hokage has reformed the tax law system and allocated a large number of subsidies to the fields of promoting development and protecting people's livelihood. 1 billion taels, a whole billion taels. It can be said that the reward for the farmer's task is 1, and the additional reward given by Konoha is 100. Speaking of companies, you can read the Konoha company law, which will be extended to the entire ninja world in the future. Everything Konoha Shinobi said has come true. Everyone was dumbfounded when they saw the leave request posted on the door of Hokage's office. Yahiko was also dumbfounded on the side, impossible, how could Konoha spend so much money? Isn't Konoha stupid to do this? What Uchihasuke discussed with them at the time was to establish the production line in the Land of Rain. Nagato instantly wanted to be a diligent rain worker. Konoha has set a good example for them. The concept of the Akatsuki organization is to create peace in the shinobi world without using extreme force. Because their cooperation this time is related to Uchiha Industrial Group. He couldn't remember what peace was, or what the Xiao organization was. His mind was filled with the words 1 billion taels. There will be more than 200 flowers tomorrow, reaching 58,816. Continue to update. This is simply wonderful. In this way, doesn't it mean that as soon as their production line is launched? Konoha Shinobi said it all in one breath. In fact, he didn't know much about it himself, but it was enough for Yahiko Nagato and others. The cooperation with Uchiha Industrial Group must be completed. If we say that before coming to Konoha, Yahiko Nagato was still full of uncertainty and worries about the future. But now, they feel like they've seen the future. When they arrive at the Hokage building, Yahiko Nagato looked at each other and smiled, clearly seeing what each other was thinking. Although the Kingdom of Rain will not be as good as Konoha in the future, there is no problem in becoming rich. They were all established by Assistant Hokage himself. The industrial group is a scientific research group, and the remaining 5 are specific service industries. Let me tell you, if someone else established so many important companies at once, we would definitely be dissatisfied, but Assistant Hokage, that would be great. Assistant Hokage, you have set up extremely high taxes for these companies. It can be said that almost all of Konoha's finances come from these companies. The third update is over. Hanzo of the Salamander's betrayal left them confused about their ideals, and now, Uchiha tells them how to create a better world. We now have 6 major state-owned enterprises in Konoha: Uchiha Industrial Group, Uchiha Super Infrastructure Construction Team, Uchiha Central Bank, Uchiha Universal Insurance, Uchiha Tobacco Bureau, Uchiha Energy Bureau, and Uchiha Communications Group. At this moment, they can't wait to see Uchiha. Konoha Shinobi people don't understand it, but can Yahiko and Nagato still understand it? At this time, Konoha Shinobi sighed again. Unfortunately, these technologies have just been prototyped, and it will take a few months to be popularized. It is said that the production line 100 has not been completed yet. The question is, what is this production line? You mean, I have to look through the Konoha New Era encyclopedia when I get back and do more research? Do you know how much the combined rewards for the land that needs to be irrigated in the country of fire are high? This Konoha Corporation law must be studied carefully. However, Konoha Shinobi seemed to have known that they would be shocked by this, and smiled. Actually, I don't understand it very well, but Assistant Hokage said, what is the economic law? To protect people's livelihood, take from the people and use it for the people. To be able to develop well and sustainably. Oh yes, Konoha is so rich, we have to mention our Konoha state-owned enterprises again. Oh, yes, that's the word, state-owned enterprises. When Nagato heard this, he was stunned. No, how much? 1 billion. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 193. At this time, Konoha Shinobi was an afterthought. Ah, I forgot, Hyuga Hayashi rebelled last night and Assistant Hokage was rehabilitated. He didn't get a good rest, so he asked for leave today. Asking for leave, Yahiko Nagato was also unfamiliar with this word. Oh, Assistant Hokage is off today and won't be working. Ah, there are times when Assistant Hokage is not working? Are there times when he is not working? Yahiko was confused. In his opinion, the Hokage assistant has the same responsibilities as the leader of the Akatsuki organization. He can only take a break from his busy schedule 24 hours a day if there is nothing to do. The difference is that he manages the Akatsuki organization, while Uchiha manages the entire Konoha. However, Konoha is much larger than the Akatsuki organization. Logically speaking, shouldn't Uchihasuke be busier? What do you mean by this? We, Assistant Hokage, can't rest. You don't know how busy our Assistant Hokage is every day and how much we have to worry about. If you ask me, Assistant Hokage should rest more. With Assistant Hokage here, we are Konoha, we are really Konoha. I am really afraid that he will be tired. Konoha Shinobi was very dissatisfied. Ah, that's not what we meant, it's just that we are more anxious. To tell you the truth, we have met Mr. Assistant Hokage before. We in the country of rain are what Assistant Mr. Hokage calls the production line. In order to meet Uchihasuke, Yahiko revealed the purpose of their trip. Production line, my god, it turns out you are the key link. Now, you know why we are anxious to see Assistant Hokage. Please be accommodating. 1. Konoha Shinobi refused directly. No, a vacation is a vacation. Anyone who dares to disturb our Assistant Hokage's vacation is our enemy of Konoha. Konoha Shinobi is determined. Yahiko Nagato was dumbfounded. Didn't he just say that the production line is very important? Why did he turn his back on me? But, is it possible that we can only delay one day? The original image of Uchihasuke in their minds as lustful, careless, and undisciplined suddenly became sacred. By wooden golem, can I improve my rope skills? And the great one they call, Uchihasuke, is listening to Lei Xiaoyuan. They are not working at all, but entertaining guests. Everyone who arrives in Konoha is a guest visiting their home. No wonder the ninjas of Konoha are so serious and active. Haha, is that so? We will continue to work hard to make the country of rain follow in the footsteps of Konoha. Secretary Yamajima, I am the representative of the Iron Kingdom. We want to sign an ore supply agreement with Konoha. What a big deal. Assistant Hokage has already said that the direction is given to you. If you can't do it well, just try it again. Who can do it well at the first time? Everyone is crossing the river by feeling the stones. Failure is not terrible, but it is terrible. I dare not move forward. Now. A foolish king who is infatuated with the harem. Aha. Konoha Shinobi waved his hand nonchalantly. Don't worry, Assistant Hokage doesn't care about these things. Assistant Hokage said that as long as you do things seriously and follow the rules, it won't be a problem. That is not important, that matter is not urgent, those are things that determine the happiness of every Konoha people. Yahiko Nagato looked at the flow of people in front of him, always feeling as if he had seen the entire prosperous ninja world. Secretary. If every matter must be handled by Assistant Hokage personally, Assistant Hokage will not be able to finish it even if he is exhausted. Yahiko and Nagato were in awe after hearing this. Yes, you have found a way to develop in this way. Believe me, the future will be better and better. Secretary Kuang Si, I am the representative of the Kingdom of Tang. This is our railway application. Don't worry, we will pay for it. We only want the railway to Lihang Town. Turn to our Kingdom of Tang. This is our Kingdom of Tang. The tourism policy formulated is absolutely in accordance with the requirements given by Konoha. Wang Hazeo is sincere, does not rip off customers, and is service-oriented. Don't worry, we accept Konoha's supervision. What a magnanimous spirit and pattern this is. Samai, Azabuyi, you too can comment on the current appearance of the wooden golem. Is it pleasing to the eye? Konoha Shinobi has long been accustomed to it. I really don't know what to say to you. Assistant Hokage has a lot of things to do every day. There are many important things. You just want to talk about the 6 major state-owned enterprises in Konoha. Ah, don't you need Assistant Hokage to confirm it personally? It's such an important thing, Yahiko couldn't believe it. Konoha Shinobi smiled, what a big deal. If Assistant Hokage is here, I'll see you. If you're not, It's okay if you don't see me. Konoha shinobi soon led Yahiko Nagato to the secretariat. There will be more than 200 flowers tomorrow, reaching 58,816, and 3 updates will continue. You deserve Konoha's strength, you deserve Konoha's prosperity. I'm sorry, forgive our rudeness, Assistant Hokage is so great. Yahiko Nagato looked solemn. Let's go, I'll take you to the secretariat. There are 3 shifts here, 356 days a year. Everything that Assistant Hokage finalizes is done in the secretariat. The 3rd update is over. Uchihasuke is like a man who never goes to court. But, aren't you afraid that the people below won't handle it well? Compared to the Hokage office, the secretariat occupies 2 floors, with representatives from various countries shuttled among them. Besides, you're not the first one to be shocked. Everyone who comes to Konoha for the first time says it's unimaginable. Your ability to accept it is pretty good. This is clearly because they are building Konoha as their own home. How can they not be serious? Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 194. Konoha is as busy as ever. At the end of the day, Yahiko saw what Konoha's speed meant. As long as it was something that was beneficial to Konoha, there was no big problem. The secretary responsible for receiving them would tell them in detail and clearly according to Konoha's requirements. Then, it started to be implemented directly. Incredibly fast. This is the strategic policy regarding Konoha and the Land of Rain. Now it gives Yahiko the feeling of just opening a facade and opening a breakfast shop. But Yahiko does not think that Uchihasuke is a child's play, but is particularly concerned about the system established by Uchiha. People can't stop evil, but the system can. Just like Blue Star, is it really true that everyone is good and abides by the law? This is not human instinctive behavior. Human instinctive behavior is destructive, dark, and unscrupulous. If you think about it, it's like the end of the world is coming. When order breaks down, what will people do? The same goes for ninjas, because ninjas are also made up of people. As long as the 980 system is perfected, no matter what the ninja is thinking, it will develop in the direction Uchihasuke wants. The system is like a rain that binds everyone together. Of course, this system also needs constant improvement and innovation. Uchihasuke is mainly busy with these things every day, just focusing on the general direction. Azabai is responsible for notification and implementation. Specific matters are left to the secretarial department. In this way, even if Uchihasuke is away from Konoha for a week or even a month, there will be no downtime in Konoha. On the contrary, the lazier Uchihasuke is, the more active the atmosphere of Sleepy Leaf is. Because the system is a big plan, the most taboo thing is to change the order day and night, even if it is the wrong order. If you want the system to be implemented and promoted smoothly, you need to persist for a long time. A 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, or even a century-long plan. Uchihasuke can do it so easily, I can only say that he is standing on the shoulders of giants, Ajay. The combination of private property and communism was realized in Konoha. But this is a step that the small life culture may not be able to achieve in hundreds of years. It's not even comparable to the current backward ninja village system. The fresh blood and activity brought by the reform can allow Konoha to develop rapidly for decades. Of course, the reason why Yahiko can go so smoothly is because most things have been taken care of by Uchiha. For example, raw material contracts signed with other countries, technological support from the Snow Country, and even the pacification of the Rain Country. Everything is ready, naturally there will be no problems. Konoha is so rich and powerful. Yahiko once heard Jiraiya describe Konoha, but at that time Konoha could only be said to be stronger and more stable than other ninja villages. Far inferior to the current Konoha. After spending a day at the secretariat, he realized Konoha's influence more clearly. Konoha has long become the center of the ninja world. However, aren't there many things that should be handled by the daimyo? What Konoha did, directly exceeded the daimyo's authority. Could it be? Yahiko didn't dare to think about it, but in his mind, he no longer considered the daimyo to be supreme. In the system, the name is not important, what is important is the rules and the system. On the contrary, the daimyo is no longer under the system, which makes Yahiko, who just believed in the system, a little uncomfortable. The system can bring peace to the ninja world, but now, the daimyo has become a stepping stone on the road to peace. Yahiko just thought about it for a moment and suppressed the idea. At this time, Konoha was like a beacon for the entire ninja world. He just had to follow Konoha's footsteps and work hard to be himself. All these issues with the system should be left to Konoha, to the founder of the system, Uchiha. I don't know where Nagato is now or if he's back. He made an appointment to have dinner with Konan tonight. Thinking of Nagato, Yahiko felt dumbfounded. After learning that the total reward for the task of spring plowing and precipitation was as high as tens of billions of taels, Nagato only stayed at the secretariat for a while before he couldn't stay any longer. Pulling Konoha shinobi who led them to the secretariat, he hurriedly headed to the place where the mission was received. As for thinking about Konan, Yahiko was only happy. Fortunately, I met Uchiha, and everything is moving in a happy direction. Konan likes him too, Nagato and I have to choose blessings. Fortunately, Nagato also knew that in addition to their business today, they also had a very important thing to do, which was to meet Konan. However, when Yahiko saw Nagato again after a whole day, Yahiko almost didn't recognize Nagato. No, L is here. Why do I feel like you have lost weight? Ha ha ha, right? I didn't pay attention. Yahiko, you can never imagine how much money I made today. Nagato, this is not a question of money. You must have overdrawn chakra, right? That's why you look like this, your face is almost sunken. Unexpectedly, Nagato didn't care at all, but became even more excited. Yahiko, let me tell you, you can't stop at all. If it rains once in a large area, you can get 1 million taels, 1 million taels a day. Do you know? That's 30 million taels in a month, or 30 million taels in a year. 400 million taels, I can't stop at all, time is money, I now understand what this sentence means. Konoha is simply a treasure land for making a fortune. The more Nagato talked, the more excited he became. Thank you all for the flowers, it's still the third update today. In the future, this book will have enough 200 flowers per day, the requirement is very low, and the author will update it 3 times. If there are not enough flowers, I will write it twice a day. It will be written according to the outline. Don't mix it with water, I'm trying hard to write the main line, but I can't write the branch line at all. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 195. Yahiko, aren't you still worried about the lack of startup funds for the Kingdom of Rain? Now you are worried about any money issues. Leave them all to me and I will solve them. When Yahiko said this, the purple Rinnegan seemed to glow. Yahiko, from now on, I will stay in Konoha. You go back to the Kingdom of Rain to build, and I will make money for the Kingdom of Rain here, ha 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 ha. Today I am just trying my best. Tomorrow I can make at least double the money, yes well, the Kingdom of Wind is currently negotiating with Konoha to implement the desert greening plan. It is a large project involving trillions of taels, although the project has not been approved for a while. But I definitely can't miss it. Nagato feels like he is almost like money now. Yahiko was stunned when he heard this. He wanted to say, Nagato, your health is important. But the money given by Konoha is too much. If he hadn't had Rinnegan, he would have wanted to replace Nagato and make money. It took a long time for the two of them to calm down. They hadn't seen Konan for a few days, and they wanted to know how Konan was doing in Konoha. After all, they are Konan's eldest brothers, and they can also be regarded as their natal family. At the same time, they also wanted to share their joy today with Konan. The country of rain will definitely develop in the future. Konoha Shopping Street. Kushina and Terumi took Konan and wandered on the street. Konan first came to Konoha, and Kushina was worried about her coming out alone. It's not a safety issue, but Konoha is constantly expanding. Even if she doesn't come out for a few days, she will get lost. Therefore, knowing that Konan's two brothers were coming to Konoha, and that her two brothers were also important subordinates of Uchihasuke, they took the initiative to bring Konan out. Of course, it's not easy to just find the place you agreed on. It's too easy for them to want to go home. As long as they head towards the center of Konoha, no matter which direction they go, they can return to their home, Uchiha House. It can be said that all roads lead to my home. Yahiko Nagato and the two were very punctual. Not long after arriving at the location, they saw Konan, who was dressed elegantly and luxuriously. Wearing exquisite jewelry and clothes inlaid with gold threads, Yahiko Nagato and the two subconsciously looked a little reserved. Can't help but look at each other. Is this really Konan? She looks like a noble lady. Oh my god, Konan has always been wearing Akatsuki costumes before, so I couldn't tell. I didn't expect Konan to have such a beautiful side. Just seeing this, I know that Konan's life in Konoha must be very good. The smile that always hung on Konan's face made them feel completely at ease. With Uchihasuke here, they no longer have to worry. Konan also saw Yahiko Nagato and waved to the two of them. Konan, now that we have met your brother, Terumi and I will leave first. Kushina smiled and tidied Konan's hair on his forehead. Konan was used to being a wild child, or he had a hard life when he was young, so he really wasn't used to such a prosperous life. However, this does not mean that she does not like the present. The two of them talked and drifted away. Yahiko looked at a jonin wearing a cloud shinobi forehead protector, grilling meat for them, and could understand what Konan said. Unexpectedly. Just as this question arose in their minds, Chef Cloud Shinobi in front of them spoke. Oh, who knows if it's true? On the contrary, she now enjoys her current life. After Kushina finished speaking, she held her belly with one hand and held Terumi with the other, speaking softly. Ninjutsu, can it still be used like this? It can be said that every thunder ninja is a barbecue master. Uchihasuke is too rich. 0. It will be written according to the outline. In the future, this book will have enough 200 flowers per day. The requirement is very low, and the author will update it 3 times. Yahiko Nagato once again felt the changes in the ninja era under Uchihasuke. The three of them went to a newly opened barbecue restaurant. The owner came from the land of thunder, and Hina's smokeless electric barbecue has become the hottest barbecue restaurant in Konoha. Fortunately, Yahiko Nagato came over quickly, and Konan suppressed the distracting thoughts in his heart. Terumi looked forward to it. I definitely want to. Let's go, sister, I want to pick out a dress I bought for little Kushina. Sister Kushina, then we must buy more, she is pregnant too. 00. However, there is Cloud Shinobi Jonin in Konoha, so isn't it a little careless? If there are not enough flowers, I will write it twice a day. Don't mix it with water, try hard to live the main line, but you can't write about the quality at all. And Fuxiang Shizuko, she is also looking forward to it. Thank you all for the flowers, it's still the 3rd update today. There is no girl who does not love beauty. You must buy more. Terumi, aren't your nearest relatives coming? However, ninjas can finally control chakra, making it easy to control the heat of barbecue. Not to mention, Konan is not used to it. Even Kushina and Terumi, two people who used to claim to have seen the world, have adapted for a long time before becoming as calm as they are now. The little one has become more and more dishonest recently. In order to prepare for her birth in advance, Terumi and I went to buy some clothes for the baby. No matter if it's true or not, it's definitely right to buy it first. Don't you want to give Jijun a baby? Jijun, if you can go a little too far with me, it would be great. I'm obviously ready. Moreover, they don't want to lose face to Uchihasuke. However, during this time, she was really blushing. Konan blushed upon hearing this. Yahiko, Nagato, this restaurant is super delicious, but the price is a bit high and it's a bit difficult to make a reservation, Konan explained to them with a smile. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 196. For others, it is difficult to make a reservation, but if you are Assistant Hokage, our store will welcome you at any time, so you don't need to make a reservation at all. Also, this customer, judging from your expression, you probably think that our Cloud Shinobi will be a safety hazard in Konoha. Actually, it's normal for you to think like this. However, your worries are unnecessary. If you can make money so steadily, who wants to fight and kill? If it weren't for the fact that you need to pay social security for more than 5 years to join Konoha, my forehead would be the protector has been changed a long time ago, but it doesn't matter whether it is changed now. Our store manager, my former captain, said that our barbecue restaurant is unique to the Land of Thunder. Even if Konoha joins in the future, we will still have problems on our heads. With the Cloud 263 forehead protector, it will be the same as the store uniform. Besides, this is Konoha, who dares to be disobedient? If there is a dispute, just call the Konoha guards. I have long been tired of fighting and killing. I just want to be a cook with peace of mind. Life in Konoha is so good now. If I work hard for half a year, I will bring my family here. It would be even better if I could buy a house. Yahiko Nagato listened and looked at each other. Although they have been in shock all day today, there is still a dreamy feeling in their hearts. Konan was very calm. Yahiko, Nagato, this is nothing. You will get used to it after staying in Konoha for a while. Although it is very prosperous and lively here, it is really peaceful and safe. It's a pity that no man can enter the place where I live, otherwise you will be shocked when you see where I live now. Uchiha House is simply a castle in a garden. A large number of rare treasures are added every day, and Konan even feels that opening a museum exhibition is more than enough. The key is, these things are all given by the ninja villages in various countries in the ninja world. It's not enough if you don't want them. Haha, we all know this. Assistant Hokage has done so much for the ninja world. Isn't it normal to have a little hobby? Madam, you must take good care of Assistant Hokage. The ninja world cannot live without Assistant Hokage. Yeah, Konan nodded solemnly. Although Kushina and the others were there, it was not her turn to take care of her. However, she still agreed with what the chef said. Even Yahiko and Nagato nodded solemnly. After the meal, Konan said goodbye to Yahiko Nagato and the two. Yahiko Nagato was walking on the streets of Konoha, feeling very emotional. It turns out that the peace we expected has now arrived. Yes, even now I still have unbelievable thoughts. Indeed, who would have thought that the peace everyone imagined would come so suddenly? All of this is the result of an adult. We must protect Lord Ji. Nagato, you have Rinnegan, and you will definitely reach great heights in the future. No matter what happens in the future, you must do your best to protect me. The ninja world can't live without me. Konan can't live without me. Nagato nodded vigorously, and at the same time regretted his previous behavior of assassinating Uchihasuke. Fortunately he failed. Although I am not as strong as Mr. G, if someone wants to kill an adult, then, unless he steps over my body. Ha ha ha, this is not just protecting Mr. G, but also protecting our dreams. Yahiko and Nagato have never looked so clear as they did today. It was as if the haze that shrouded the entire ninja continent had disappeared. The ninja world is thriving. The famous names of the 5 major countries are terrified. Daimyo of the Fire Country, what do you mean by Day's assistant Huo-man? Our ninja village doesn't listen to our orders now, saying it doesn't care about our annual funding. I don't know either. I ordered Hokage, but Hokage said he couldn't control assistant Hokage. Although I am a daimyo of the Land of Fire, I cannot directly communicate with assistant Hokage of Konoha. Damn it, what the hell is going on? When the daimyo became restless, Sarutobi Hiruzen joined hands with Shimura Danzo to find the daimyo. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Compared to Uchihasuke who ignored the daimyo, Sarutobi Hiruzen Shimura Danzo's attitude allowed the daimyo to regain their former majesty. Konoha's subversion plan continues to expand. Konoha Shopping Street. Namikaze Minato, looking down and out, finally walked out of the house. This period of time can be called his dark day. I finally decided to go out and relax today. However, Namikaze Minato had just left 0.4 and after a while, a familiar red hair appeared in his field of vision. Kushina's beautiful red hair is flying in the wind, and her face is full of loving smile. Wearing maternity clothes, stroking her obviously bulging belly. Standing in front of a baby products store. Thank you everyone for the flowers, it's still the 3rd update today. Tomorrow there will be more than 66,580 flowers, and we will continue to update 3 times. If there are not enough flowers, I will write it twice a day. It will be written according to the outline. Don't mix it with water. I'm trying hard to write the main line, but I can't write the branch line at all. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 197. It's Kushina. Namikaze Minato's eyes were a little obsessed for a while. Kushina was his favorite girl. Whispering subconsciously. Kushina. At this time, Kushina also saw Namikaze Minato at the corner of the street, and the smile on her face gradually faded. Seeing the extremely embarrassed Namikaze Minato in front of him, Juzinkan almost didn't recognize him. Once upon a time, Namikaze Minato was like a little sun, warm, confident and sunny. But now, that dazzling hair has become frizzy and dull. The bright sapphire-like eyes also became extremely dim, without any brilliance. Minato, long time no see, Kushina said, gently stroking her belly. Yeah, long time no see Kushina. Namikaze Minato's voice was full of disappointment. Terumi-me looked at Namikaze Minato curiously from the sidelines. The name Namikaze Minato used to be very popular. Moreover, as Kushina's closest best friend, she naturally knew what happened to Kushina. Jijun is really a bastard, why do I like him so much? Thinking about it this way, Namikaze Minato is quite pitiful. Of course, this thought just flashed through Terumi-me's mind. No matter what Uchihasuke does, she firmly supports it. Namikaze Minato had countless things to say to Kushina, but at this moment, he didn't know where to start. Kushina didn't think much about it. She fell in love with Uchihasuke a long time ago. She is Uchihasuke's woman, so she naturally knows what proportion is. And the Minato in front of her was no longer the same person she knew. Terumi-me, come in with me. If the quality and style are acceptable, bring Zi and the others with you next time. Terumi-me was also not interested in Namikaze Minato. She even thought about why Uchihasuke still kept Namikaze Minato now, why not wipe them all? Many people in Konoha don't like the old school of Konoha, that is, the group of people centered on the third Hokage. Especially the new people promoted after Uchiha took power. Namikaze Minato is a disciple of Sarutobi Hiruzen, so he is naturally classified as a conservative. In Terumi Mei's opinion, Uchiha letting them live is already the greatest favor. Wait, seeing Kushina about to leave, Namikaze Minato finally couldn't help it. Konoha is extremely prosperous now, and Kushina lives in the center of Konoha again. It is extremely difficult to meet Kushina once. Missing this time, Namikaze Minato has no idea when he will see him again next time. He pulled out a document that interested him greatly. Only the devastated Namikaze Minato was left. I am very happy now. My husband treats me very well, and my husband and I's child is about to be born. When he grows up, he will definitely be an outstanding ninja, just like his father. Fortunately, Samurai was the main force, so Azabuye would not forget it. Uchiha transforms the office environment into one he likes. Uchiha admits that Azabuye is very capable, but she lacks the ability to stand alone. I love going to work, I love working. Instead, it stung him deeply. In front of him, Ma-Bai and Samyi were kneeling on the ground eating ice cream. However, Uchiha was not thinking about these valleys. For a moment, Namikaze Minato's eyes became darker. Nothing, I just wanted to ask you, how are you doing recently? What's the matter, Minato Jonin, what's the matter, Kushina said with a smile, but in the eyes of Namikaze Minato, it was particularly strange. Soon, Uchiha paused. Kushina said, rubbing her belly, exuding the brilliance of motherhood. Sorry, I was too busy the past 2 days, so I will update 3 times today. Even though most of the work is assigned to Azabi and the Secretariat, Uchiha still has a lot of work every day. Uchiha is doing more and more work now, to the point where he is tired of it, so he hopes to find Tsunade as soon as possible. Kushina could tell at a glance what Namikaze Minato was thinking. Minato Jonin, although I have no obligation to tell you my current situation, it doesn't hurt to talk about it. Hokage office. However, this beauty has nothing to do with him. The legendary Sunin, the big fat sheep, suddenly appears in the short book street. By then, Tsunade will be Hokage's assistant, and Azabi will continue to be his secretary. Uchiha gave his opinion while reading the document. Azabuye was restricted by the conditions and could only write it down temporarily. The weak adapt to the environment, and the strong change the environment. What bad intentions can there be in encouraging yourself to go to work? Is Minato Jonin. There will be 2 updates every day to complete the book. If there are more than 200 flowers in a single day, there will be 3 updates. If Tsunade is here, wouldn't there be 3 people in front of me now? At this moment, Kushina seemed to be shining in Namikaze Minato's eyes. After Kushina finished speaking, she and Terumi Mei disappeared into the crowd. Namikaze Minato was stunned for a moment. At this time, Kushina was even more beautiful than he imagined. Moreover, Uchiha has begun preparations for his own coronation as Hokage. Azabi, is this news from Tsunade? Uchiha was sitting on the sofa, slowly browsing through today's documents. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 198. Samai, eat quickly, we should get off work after eating. Azabuye, do you want to go to Tangsha Street with me this time? Uchiha pressed Samai's head and helped her. Ma-Bai was very moved, but in the end she shook her head. Jejun, I won't go with you this time. There are a lot of jobs in Konoha now, and we can't do without people. Moreover, this information is only suspect and its credibility is questionable. After Mabai finished speaking, he helped Samai. No one wanted to work overtime. Uchiha nodded, indicating that he understood, and he didn't even ask Samui. This guy is a proper otaku girl, not a qualified ninja at all. However, Uchihasuke likes Samui very much. Samui fits a man's imagination of a partner so well that it makes Uki happy every time. Then, Uchihasuke began to think about who to call with him this time. After all, as Azabuye said, the credibility of this information is not high. You also need to search for places. If no one is there, your trip will be in vain. Uchihasuke is looking for someone to go with him. First of all, exclude Konan and Fuxiang Shizuko, they are not familiar yet. Kusina, Terumi Mei, Mizu no 070 Moon Purple, and Uzumaki Ayasu are not good either. They are pregnant, and Kusina is not far away from giving birth. Someone needs to take care of Kusina. In fact, it is not a big problem for Uchihasuke to bring Uzumaki Ai Phosphorus, or Minajiki Purple, or even Terumi Mei. They don't stay pregnant for long. However, it's not like there are no other options now. Uchihasuke came to mind by Wooden Golem, a cat-like slender figure. But Uchihasuke did not speak immediately because his attention was now attracted by the two women in front of him. Wait until you finish eating the ice cream. Uchihasuke caressed the side of Azabuye's face. Azabuye, by Wooden, what is Golem doing these days? Azabuye is so smart, she immediately understood what Uchihasuke meant. Wooden Golem has been waiting for Sukun. She must be very happy when she knows that she can go out with Sukun. In that case, let Wooden Golem and I carry out the mission to find Tsunade. Konoha needs Tsunade now. Seeing Azabuye so tired every day, I feel sorry for him too. Azabuye leaned on Uchihasuke's arms. Ji-kun, all of this is of my own free will, and I'm very happy to be able to do this. Seeing Konoha getting better little by little under her hands, she also felt a sense of accomplishment. However, as Uchihasuke said, she is more suitable for supporting rather than acting alone. Her character is not strong enough and she is tired of being on her own. But please relax, you can't spend more time with me, don't you want to? Uchihasuke was still smiling. Ji-kun Azabuye didn't even bother with teasing. He buried himself in Uchihasuke and didn't look up. On the other hand, Samui was still kneeling on the ground doing the finishing work. He was a good and hard-working employee. After cleaning up and helping Uchihasuke get dressed, Samui got up. Uchihasuke always says this, but when I grew up, I always talked about it. Little Suke, come on, let me kiss you. Uchihasuke picked up Uzumaki, kissed her on the forehead, and then carried her inside. When I hear the fragrant phosphorus, I immediately feel like eggplant beaten by frost. It's true, you have to sell your life, and you have to sell your life. Uchihasuke returns to Uchiha house. Asai. At this time, she had no idea of Uchihasuke's plans. Nowadays, both electricity prices and electrical appliances are extremely expensive. Of course, for Uchihasuke, it's not worth mentioning. However, because the Ninja World factory has not been implemented yet, and the technology is in the first generation of innovation. In particular, Konoha has now begun to lay out electric wires and popularize electrical appliances. As soon as he entered the door, a red shadow rushed towards Uchihasuke. Kusina and Terumi Mei are gathering in the courtyard. It's true that he asked Tsunade to come back and let her work, but it's also true that the bed isn't big enough. Uchihasuke stepped forward and kissed everyone before sitting on the main seat. Dad, kiss here, I want a kiss like this. Uzumaki held Uchihasuke's head and shook it gently. It's nice to have a home. After a hard day's work. Uchihasuke has been used to being alone since he was a child and thinks the more lively the better. Uchihasuke doesn't think he is a good person, but he is too young now. Uchihasuke moaned and buried herself in Uchihasuke's neck, then kissed her. During this time, they organized the land in front of the house and built a small square. Sorry, I was too busy the past 2 days, so I will update 3 times today. That's not possible. We can wait until when Xiangling graduates from the ninja school. Compared to the boxy house, they like the beautiful scenery by the lake more. After night falls, the small yard has a special beauty. Uchihasuke smiled and patted Xianglian's little pea and made a note of it. Xianglian became much more honest now. There is an open-air dining room, kitchen, and a living room, as well as some play facilities. He was an orphan in his previous life, and his heart was filled with joy when he looked at it. Azabuye gave Uchihasuke a blank look. Dad, the voice came before anyone else. Jejun, welcome home. This is what home feels like. Azabuye, talk to Wooden Golem when you get back, and we will set off tomorrow morning, Uchihasuke said. Oh, by the way, the bed in the darkroom will be replaced with a larger one in the next 2 days, and there will be one more person. It's a bit small. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Konoha, I am really not a bad person. Author, Cat on the List. Chapter 199. On the table. While everyone was enjoying the food, Terumi May mentioned what she had experienced in the afternoon. Husband, why are you still keeping old Sarutobi Hiruzen now? They have a lot of objections to you. I guess they are secretly harboring some evil intentions. Terumi May believes that Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others are just like sewer rats, with bad intentions. Haha, Terumi May, what would you do if you saw a little ant on the road? Trample him to death. Husband, why should I trample the little ant to death? I am too lazy to pay attention to it. That's it, in my eyes, they are just little ants. Uchihasuke now earns nearly 15,000 sentiment points a day. 1 month is nearly 500,000 emotional points. In addition to redeeming unconscious 10 tails, there may be some trouble. In the emotional mall, other items can be exchanged at will. And, he now has Rinnegan too. Even if Sarutobi Hiruzen has any conspiracy, he will not act like a fool in the face of absolute power. Terumi May was stunned for a moment, and then quickly understood what Uchihasuke meant. Uchihasuke paused and continued, besides, isn't it good to have a little episode in life? And, their appearance can also defeat some people with ulterior motives. Where there are people, there are rivers and lakes. Some people conform to Uchihasuke and obey Uchihasuke, and some people are unhappy with Uchihasuke. After all, Uchihasuke is not gold and everyone loves it. Sarutobi Hiruzen jumps out, and Uchihasuke can also scare the monkeys. Yes, holy chicken monkey. As Uchihasuke's strength changes and his mentality changes, Sarutobi Hiruzen's role also changes. I hope that the death of Sarutobi Hiruzen can silence all voices. Uchihasuke was not in the mood to pay attention to the thoughts of these little bugs. When one of them was ready to float, he pressed down the next one. Uchihasuke doesn't want to talk too much about these work matters. The conversation quickly turned to interesting things. There are 3 women in one drama, not to mention that there are so many women in Uchihasuke, and the conversation never stops. Although they are all very trivial things, Uchihasuke listened with great interest. As long as there is no pressure to survive and no need to worry about food and clothing, anyone will naturally have great patience to enjoy life. Time flies by minute by second. Today, Uchiha is alone with Uzumaki Ayasu. This is what Kushina and the others have agreed upon, and most of the time, everyone is together. However, there are always a few days in a month. When this time is staggered, Uchihasuke can be alone with someone. Kalen, come here obediently, I'll go back and wait for you first. After Uchihasuke finished speaking, he walked away in a swagger. Kushina and the others cleaned up the mess. Cailien, leave it to us to clean up today. Go and accompany your husband. That's right, you won't be the only one. Sister Kushina, it won't be long before I'm with you. Uzumaki rejected their kindness. After all, there really wasn't much to do. There is strength in numbers, so they packed up quickly. But on the side, Uzumaki watched her mother and Kushina getting busy, her eyes rolling. While everyone was chatting, he quietly left. I remember, this is the room where parents live every day. Xiangling looked at the doorframe in front of her, her heart beating a little faster. Then, he deliberately stepped up his steps and entered the room like his mother. Uchihasuke exchanged the Kagura heart eye a few days ago, and as long as he doesn't feel any ill will, he is just like ordinary people. I had no idea who was coming in, so I thought it was Cai Phosphorus who was back. Cai Phosphorus, come here and have some ice cream. Uchihasuke closed his eyes as if asleep. Xiang Phosphorus's brain was on fire. But she somehow understood what Uchihasuke meant. As soon as Xianglin opened his mouth, Uchiha felt something was wrong. Xiangli, why are you here? Dad, I advise you not to move, otherwise it will break, don't blame me. Xianglu showed his small fangs and smiled menacingly. Before Cai Phosphorus came in, Xiang Phosphorus ran away with a swish. Husband, did Xiang Phosphorus offend you just now? She ignored me even when I said hello. No. No, Xiangling is very good. Very good. Husband, what are you talking about? It's okay, don't worry about this, come here. The next day. Early in the morning. Before Uchihasuke left, he gave Xianglian a hard knock on the head. Xiangling originally thought he was going to be scolded, but when he heard what Uchihasuke said, he immediately smiled happily. Xiang Phosphorus, next time, you have to escape halfway, hum. Subsequently, Uchihasuke came to Tingley courtyard. Leaving Konoha with wooden golem.